Hi, this is Alishanma and welcome back to my lair. In this video we are going to talk about few things related to the SkyView, FreeX SkyView quadcopter, which is lying right here. Alright, in order to enable the factory, or in order to help the factory to provide you better technical support and after-sales service, I would highly recommend you follow the steps shown in this video when you get your SkyView, FreeX SkyView quadcopter. So first thing that you need to do is, once you get your SkyView, FreeX SkyView quadcopter, is to grab a camera. So it can be any camera, like the one in my hand. You can have a SLR that records the video, you can have HD small camera, you can have a Mobius if you have one, you can have a GoPro. For instance, I have like GoPro sitting here, one GoPro sitting right there, idly. So basically you can have any camera that you can find to record your unboxing and your pre-flight setup steps that you're taking for your FreeX SkyView quadcopter. So I would once again highly recommend, once you get your SkyView quadcopter, please grab a camera, and like if you have a GoPro, you can simply put it on your head mount, okay, or any other camera that you can put on a tripod, and do record a video of your unboxing, showing everything coming out of the box and showing all the steps clearly that you are taking to do the pre-flight setup and to fly, before flying or during the flight, or even record your flights. I like sitting on the ground, so in this video I'm going to show you some, not only the unboxing of the FreeX SkyView, but also some very critical steps that you must follow so that you can ensure better flight performance with your FreeX SkyView, and you won't have any glitches or any issues flying your multi-rotor. Alright, so let's unbox this one first. Outside the box you will have a user manual and your ID card, the FreeX ID card. Please save this card because you can use the number on this ID card and purchase discounted parts later. Now before you toss it down, I would highly recommend you do read this user manual thoroughly and fully understand everything about your quadcopter and everything about the pre-flight setup in order to perform the pre-flight setup right and make sure your quadcopter flies right without any issues. Okay, next we will have the quadcopter itself inside. Then you have a battery charger. You have 11.1 volt. You have an 11.1 volt 2700 milliamp battery. Then you have a wall outlet. This is 110 to 220 volts, so works in all countries. And you have some accessories like a motor tool. Sometimes you have to, your propellers get over tightened, so you can hold the motor using this tool and easily unlock, easily open the propellers, attach or detach. And also you have stickers, and you have a little screw set spare. You have a USB dongle, okay, to perform the FreeX calibration or use the software. And of course you have a little mount so that you can mount GoPro static right under the FreeX SkyView quadcopter if you don't want to use the gimbal. Of course you also have the handlebar, okay, that you can use to put it on the box, and then you can carry the box. I will show you right away, very soon. Okay, and finally you have the FreeX 2D gimbal right in the middle. Okay, and don't forget the propellers, one set of propellers. Alright, that's all on the floor. Once again, you have a FreeX SkyView quadcopter, FreeX 2D gimbal, you have a radio control, you have accessories, you have a battery charger and outlet wall adapter, you have a 11.1 volt 2700 milliamp battery, and a set of propellers, plus your ID card and the user manual sitting here. So the next step will be to install the gimbal onto your quadcopter, and then the other steps are to be done outdoors. That means you will need GPS satellites for those steps. So those steps will be to do compass calibration, gyro initialization, and of course flight. Okay, so let's get to it and see how to install the gimbal. Alright, let's unbox the gimbal first. It's very simple and easiest to use gimbals out there in the market for the SkyView. Only two things in the box: a gimbal, alright, and a piece to fit the gimbal on the quadcopter. Let us take a closer look at the gimbal. You have your IMU board, that is gimbal stabilization board, and a button here. So sometimes if your gimbal is not holding it straight, you can actually do the following. If your gimbal is like tilting or leaning in certain direction, what you can do is you can hold and you can press and hold this button and your gimbal will go free. After that, you can hold the gimbal in the very right position where you want it to be and press the button one time and hold the gimbal until it gets stabilized again, and then it will hold that position there. Alright, the next thing you want to see on the gimbal is right here. These pins, if you see on top, this says ground. So if we see from top, these pins here, they say ground. Right here, my camera is getting out of focus. Ground, channel 1, channel 2. Okay, and you see these three pins right here. So these three pins you will use to connect your tilt control, which is right here under the quadcopter. Okay, you might want to take the tape off and take this one and making sure that the ground goes to ground and channel goes to channel. Okay, so basically when you put this cable on this one, you will have ground on the black cable on the ground and channel 1 the white cable. That's it. So you connect it right and you will have the tilt control in your hands using the slider right here on your radio. Okay, the next thing is simple. Your gimbal will be powered using the GST connector, and you will have a GST connector right here on the other leg on your quadcopter. Alright, camera is not focusing. Let me just focus this way. Right there, there's a GST connector. Alright. Okay, now the next thing to do is to install the gimbal. To install the gimbal is very simple. You see two holes here and two holes here. They will sit on top of, so they will make the gimbal sit on these four towers looking under the quadcopter. Okay, at the bottom you will have these three screws or four screws. Okay, so what you can do is very simple. So take the supplied piece out, okay, and using the screws supplied, please mount this one here. So once this piece is mounted, you will have your gimbal mounted a little bit forward, and after that your gimbal will come right on top of it. Alright, and using some long hex screwdrivers or hex drivers, you can easily put in the screws to each tower. Okay, so right now, because I'm just showing you, I'm not gonna put it in, you can easily line them up and put in the screws, tighten it. Do use Loctite. Okay, so once you do, your gimbal will be mounted nice and good under the quadcopter. Alright, just like this, your gimbal will be fit nice and neat. And if you like, you don't have to use this piece. You can simply use a Velcro tie. Okay, I will zoom in so you can see. You can simply use a Velcro, okay, to tie your HD camera. So basically, if you're using, if you don't use GoPro, and you have just like this is SJ4000 camera. So basically, I just use a Velcro to mount it, and I can move the camera forward and backward. I just had to do a little mod on the camera mount. That is, I had to remove these pellets. That is, I have to remove these little notches here, and after that just file them down. Now I can mount any camera which actually moves left and right, and I can balance the gimbal real nicely. Okay, so once the gimbal is mounted, the connection of this cable should be really easy. Just make sure you put ground to ground and signal to signal. Okay, once this is done, we are ready to go out and do the remaining pre-flight setup. Okay, I will give you a quick introduction of FreeX radio and its controls. It's very simple. For mode 1 and mode 2, I have already done the video on how to change from mode 1 to mode 2, and also I have done the videos on how to set the dual rates, how to set the timer, etc, etc. Now for the controls, it's very simple. When you're looking at the radio, okay, apart from sticks, right here you have a switch which is a failsafe control. It says hold and back to home. So if you want your quadcopter to return to home after the signals are lost, make sure before flight this switch is up here that says back home. But if before takeoff this switch was on the back side right here and your quadcopter loses the control signal, it will hold its position and hover there until it regains the control signal. So if you want your quadcopter to come back, auto return to home when the signals are lost, make sure before flight you put this switch up here, alright? Facing to you, like up here, alright? So this is called switch down, okay? This is called switch up. So make sure this switch is down on the back home, and then you fly, and if the signals are lost, your quadcopter will return to home. If you don't want your quadcopter to return to home when the signals are lost, of course, leave the switch on the back side. Alright, the next one is here, that says attitude and headless. This means you can fly in an attitude hold mode, and when you want to turn on the intelligent orientation control, you can put it down. Make sure you have all set lights before using the intelligent orientation control, and make sure your compass is calibrated properly. Alright, the next switch here is the flight mode switch. So you have off. This means you are in attitude mode hold when you're flying. Your quadcopter will hold attitude and altitude, but not the GPS position. If you want your quadcopter to hold the GPS position hold, put it in the middle, and you can leave the sticks and your quadcopter will hold its position right where it is. And if you want your quadcopter to return to home, just put it down and your quadcopter will return to home and land. Alright, anytime you can cancel the auto return to home by putting it back to GPS, but anywhere during the return to home you will always have control. And at the right side, this slider will control your camera tilt. Okay, after you install the handle, you can actually carry it very easily. So this becomes your carrying case as well. Okay, we are out with the SkyView here, and in this video I'm going to show you a few steps that you should do for the very first time. And this you have to do only one time, not every time, so just for the very first time. For the very first time, turn on the radio, connect the battery, what you want to do is wait for the green light to blink. Okay, green light to blink. That means all satellites locked. For the first time, it might take a little longer, so be patient on this. Now you can see the green light is on, but you want to wait until it's blinking. Yes, it's blinking. Blinking means all the satellites are locked. Now, disconnect the battery, power off the radio, and wait for some time. Ideally 10 to 20 seconds. Then turn on the radio. Within 10 seconds, connect the power. Once again, wait for the green LED to blink. Now you can see the green LED comes on quick and starts blinking quick. This means now it's good. Alright, now it's good. Now you're good to go for initialization and compass calibration. Please follow my videos on how to do gyro initialization and compass calibration. And after that, you're good to fly. Enjoy.